Greetings to the day. Welcome to another session of mobile computing. My name is Muhammad Ramatri. In today's session, we are going to start with our second unit. But before we start our second unit, let me revise what are the things that we have studied in the first unit. We studied about multiplexing, we studied about frequency division, multiple access, and multiplexing, and all other things like this wireless cellular networks and the other things. In today's session, we're going to start with the second unit. So, second unit deals with the telecommunication system, which includes GSM, GPRS, DECT, and all of the other things. So, let me start with the telecommunication system. Now, what is telecommunication system? Telecommunication system is been defined as the electronic transmission of information over distances called telecommunication, but has become virtually inseparable from computer. Computer and telecommunication create value together. Like with reference to the latest technology trends and everything, every other device that is being connected to internet is a computer. Computer doesn't means like a personal computer or a laptop or other things. Your mobile phone is also being considered as a computer, or it's an electronic device by which we can have telecommunication mechanism. Now what it says, what are the different components of a telecommunication network? It says telecommunications are the means of electronic transmission of information over distances. The information may be in the form of voice, telephone calls, data, text, images, or videos. Now, in today's world, telecommunication are used to organize more or less remote computer system into telecommunication networks. So these networks themselves are run by computers. Like the way I'm taking the classes, the way you are all meeting virtually, the way the meetings are being conducted, and the way the people are doing their task virtually is all with reference to the telecommunication network. With reference to this latest pandemic and recent days, we have been working from home and we have been communicating everything through this telecommunication network. This has helped a lot in working together in an efficient and effective way without making the distances. The way I'm speaking to you is the same way I'm taking classes in front of all of you in a college. So this video will help you in many of the forms. Now you are listening to this video, you can listen to this video later on, but you will get the same environment as if you are listening to a class in a very good environment in a college. If at all this session would have been an offline session, the same thing you could have not been reused, or you cannot have been like listening to the same session afterward also. But due to this telecommunication network, like the distance has been reduced, as well as you can reuse the things. Now moving forward, it says a telecommunication network is an arrangement of computing and telecommunication resources for communication of information between distant locations. The way I have said you, I am sitting at one place, you all are sitting at different places, but we are able to communicate with one another in any of the form. Like I am speaking, you all are listening. In another way, like when we will be having a Zoom meeting, or we will be having a review meeting, or when we will be having a one-to-one session, you all will be at different places, I will be at one different places, but we will be communicating at one instance. Like I am speaking, you all are listening, or in another way, you all will be speaking, I will be listening. In another way, like I'll also be speaking, you also will be speaking. So this has reduced the distances between the people and between the places. So what it says, a telecommunication network includes the following components. The first one is with reference to the terminal for accessing the network. The second one is with reference to the computer that process information and are interconnected by the network. Once again, I'll remind you, computer doesn't means a personal computer or laptop, it can be anything. The third one is with reference to the communication link that form a channel through which information is been transmitted from a sending device to a receiving device. Like I am speaking, you are listening. I am sending the information, you are receiving the information, or you will be sending an email to me, you will be the sender and I will be the receiver. In this way, the things will be communicated. Or else we will be sending a video stating that, sir, this is the part which I have not understood, or this is the thing that I want to clarify. You will be sending a video, so you will be the sender and I will be the receiver. So in this way, the communication will happen. The fourth point says the communication equipment that facilitates the transmission of information or the mechanism by which that we are using. Here we are using YouTube, you might be using WhatsApp, you can be using any of the other platform for communicating these particular things. And the last one is with reference to the telecommunication software that control message transmission over the network. Software here in the sense means the protocol that we are using for this particular communication. Now further we are going to study with reference to this GSM. So formerly it was called as Group Special Mobile, founded in 1982. Now it is one called as Global System for Mobile Communication. Now this was with reference to the Pan-European Standard ETSI, European Telecommunication Standardization Institute. Further it says it was simultaneous introduction of essential services in three phases in 1991, 1994 and 1996 by European Telecommunication and Administration. Like it was also been with reference to Germany in with the form of D1 and D2. Now next one it says with reference to the seamless roaming within Europe possible. How it is impossible? Today many providers all over the world uses GSM. More than 200 countries in Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia and America. This GSM, like Global System for Mobile Communication, is being used all across the globe. Now it further says more than 1.2 billion subscribers in more than 630 different networks. Now more statistically it says more than 75% of all digital mobile phone uses GSM. Like in the previous we used to have CDMA type of mobile phones in which one mobile phone was there and one single SIM used to work. Now in today's mobile phone we can use any of the global SIM in our mobile phone and we can use it anywhere across the India or anywhere across the globe. And if at all if you observe in any of the in the basic mobile phone models, it will be written like this particular mobile phone will work within India. If at all if you are putting any of the SIM from other country, it may not work. Like it will not say it will not work, it may not work. Now further it says over 200 million SMS per month in Germany, for like 550 billion per year worldwide, 10% of the revenue for many operators. Now beware, it's like less than the rough numbers, like these all are the rough numbers with reference to the GSM. Now what it says, the first GSM network was launched in 1991 by Radio LNG in Finland with a joint technical infrastructure maintenance from Ericsson, from the Ericsson company. Now the proposed GSM system had to meet these certain business objectives. What were the objectives? To support for international roaming, like I have said you with reference to the networks. If at all if you have observed, like if at all we have been to any other different places apart from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and all these things, the moment you land at that place you will get an SMS stating that welcome to India and we are from so and so network, please use our network. So this was with reference to this GSM. You will be getting international roaming, like to use the network of different what do you call as networks within that jurisdiction. Now the second one is with reference to the good speech quality, with reference to the audio video quality, with reference to the internet, with reference to the other things. The next one is with reference to the ability to support hand-handled terminals, and next one is with reference to the low terminal and service cost, and the last one is with reference to the spectral efficiency, which means if at all if I am traveling to any of the other place, like for example I stay in Hyderabad, and if at all if I am moving to UAE, there will be having different networks. Now these networks, if at all if I am using Jio, if at all if I am using Airtel, if at all if I am using Vodafone or Idea, the same network will be having an MOU with other countries with their own networks. Like for example, I am using Airtel over here, there I will be using XYZ of the networks. This Airtel and XYZ networks will be having MOUs and interconnection. If at all if any of the customers of Airtel is moving to UAE, XYZ network will provide the services and this will be the charges. This is with reference to this GSM. Now further it says GSM uses a combination of FDMA and TDMA, frequency division multiple access and time division multiple access. It is been sorry, it is being used by GSM. Now further it says the GSM system has an allocation of 50 megahertz bandwidth in the 900 megahertz frequency band. Now using FMA, this band is divided into 124 channels, each with a carrier bandwidth of 200 kilohertz. Now using TDMA, each of these channel is further divided into 8 time slots. Therefore, with combination of FDMA and TDMA, we can realize maximum of 992 channels for transmit and receiving of the information. So this is with reference to the GSM. Now what is the architecture of GSM system? GSM is PLMN, which is being abbreviated as Public Land Mobile Network, which uses several providers set up mobile network following the GSM standard within each country. So what are the components with reference to GSM? This is with reference to the components is mobile stations, base stations, mobile switching centers and location register. Now what do you mean by this particular thing? This means this is also been used with reference to tracing of any of the information. For an example, let me consider you are using mobile phone and you are not using mobile data, you are on Wi-Fi. The moment you change your Wi-Fi or you change your location from one router to another router, the information will not be changed. The information will remain the same, but the adapter settings and adapter address will get changed. So here is the same thing which is been said over here to explain the overall architecture with reference to the mobile station, where it is, the towers, the base station, the mobile phone that you are carrying, the mobile switching center, the way it is being switched from one center to another center. Also this will refer to like sharing of information from one tower to another tower. And the last one is with reference to the location register, in the sense from where you are speaking and until where you are going to speak. So this all with reference to the location register. Now what are the subsystems in this? The subsystems are the radio subsystem, which cover all radio aspects. The NSS, which covered the network switching subsystems, which is like call forwarding, handover and other switching mechanism. The last one is with reference to the operation subsystem, which will manage the network. So this is an overall architecture of GSM system, in which you will be having the different mobile stations and the different mechanisms by which the information is being transmitted from one tower to another tower, and with reference to the switching of the information from one mobile system or mobile switching system to another mobile switching system. Now what are the abbreviation with reference to this architecture? The first one is with reference to the MSC, which is been referred as mobile switching center. There is BSC, which refers to base station controller. The next one is with reference to the BTS, which is being referred as base transceiver station. The next one is TRX, which is the transceiver mobile station, and OMC with reference to the operation and maintenance center. PSCN is the reference to the public switching telephone networks. BSS is the reference to the base station subsystem. The next one is with the reference to the HLR, which is the home location register or home location register, which is the next one is with the reference to the VLR, visitor location register, and AUC authentication center, and EIR with reference to the equipment identity register. Now these are the different abbreviation, the different things, technical things that is being used with reference to the architecture of GSM system. Now moving forward, what are the performance characteristics of this GSM? The first one is with reference to the communication. It refers to the mobile wireless communication, voice and data services. Now with reference to the total mobility, it has international access, chip card enabled users of access point of different provider. With reference to the worldwide connectivity, one number, the network handles the localization, like I have told you, like switching of the network from one place to another place. The next one is with reference to the high capacity for better frequency, efficiency, smaller cells and more customer per cell. Also with reference to the high transmission quality, which refers to the high audio quality and reliability of for the wireless uninterrupted phone calls at higher speed, for example from cars, trains and etc. type of things. Like also, if at all, if you observe, if at all if you are in a lift, you will not be able to, previously it was there, now it is been resolved. Previously, like there was a disturbance in the mobile phones, now there is no disturbance if at all if you are in a lift also. Also with reference to if at all if you are in a fast moving train or a fast moving car, there also there used to be a noise disturbance. Now it is being resolved, that is because of this GSM improved performance. The last one is with reference to the security function, which has access control authentication via chip card and pin. Like if at all if you remember, in the previous mobile cards, like if at all if you have any of the elder brother or elder sister or elder siblings, you can ask, there used to be a PUK log number. The SIM used to be auto logged for if at all there was any of the unauthorized activity or unauthorized type of things. The SIM used to get auto locked and you used to get a PUK number or PUC number, something like this, and it used like the SIM was to be enabled at that instant. So this was with reference to the security function. Now these are the different GSM frequency bands for different things. You can have a glance, you can pause the video and you can have a glance and you can have a look for this particular thing with the frequency bands. Now with reference to the GSM mobile services, so what it offers, GSM offers several type of connection with reference to voice connection, data connection, short messages services, multi-service option, the combination of basic services like the way you send receive SMSs, you can have a multimedia message, you can have text messages at a greater size, etc. of things. Now what are the services has been provided? The services been provided are three services. The first one is with reference to the barrier services, the second one is with reference to the telematic services, and the third one is with reference to the supplementary services. So these are the three services which are being provided by GSM mobile services. Now next one is with reference to GPRS, which we are going to study in the next session. I hope you have understood something from today's session and you have got an idea what actually is GSM, global services for mobile communication. Also you have got an idea how telecommunication works with reference to this. If at all if you have any doubt with reference to today's session, you can ping me at ramat_r82@com, or we can have a doubt clarification session with a mutual understanding. I hope you understood something from today's session. Thank you for listening. See you in the next session. Thank you.